Voidgo was a game that I spent a lot of time on during early access. It's a mixture of Nuclear Throne, but falling a little bit short when it comes to actual gameplay progression. I do recall it being extremely fast-paced and insanely difficult when you want it to be, considering I did play the game for 40 hours and was never able to beat brutal difficulty, especially with features like the Void Challenger, which would enable you to face not one but two bosses at once at the very start for extra rewards and extra challenge on top of the already brutal challenges. Voidgo is basically a game of cat and mouse. You're hunted by bosses which are immortal until you break the seals on their health bars by exploring each and every room. Once you have done so, you'll be taking on the role as hunter. After a while though, you will realize that everything else is meaningless. You don't need to actually explore. You don't need to kill everything in each area. Simply rush through, find a good weapon, grab it, and head for the boss. Upgrades help, yes, but it is an RNG game and you're not guaranteed to obtain something truly amazing. In all honesty, from my perspective, it appears to be the reason why they included a gated final level to give players more incentive to actually go around killing things, which seems like a very weak justification. This would mostly be due to players like myself playing earlier. We have no progression in this and a lot of this stuff is just forced and pointless farms. I'm just disappointed in how they handled this new aspect of the mastery system and the removal of several features like the Void Challenger from the very start of the game into a random encounter, which made the game feel a lot more slower and less engaging at higher difficulties. The same could be said about the lower difficulties, where it just didn't seem like we were really doing any damage half the time no matter what build we ended up finding. This could be due to bad builds, but even then, it just felt so unfun to play due to specific builds just being far more superior in every single way alongside the ammo system that just makes it even worse. I don't believe this to be a genuine issue, but a lot of people hate this ammo system. I can understand what they're saying. Fighting a boss with a trash build that does no damage, not even enough to kill calm mode bosses quickly enough to trigger the ammo drop phase, is just stupid. You either get a very good build or you don't while sitting there hitting things with a twig. Playing through early access, I had acquired a lot of essence, which are used to unlock more of the camp upgrades, such as expanding it outwards to fit in new houses, unlocking new characters and weapons, and creating your own tiny pets to locate on your runs that may assist you. But after all of this time, there's still nothing to use this essence stockpile on. Introducing other systems, again, that is just an additional long grind to unlock the final true run and also New Game Plus. I essentially burnt out on the game before it was fully released, and sure, that is my fault, even giving out 12 copies of the game to my community because it was extremely fun and I wanted more people to enjoy it. I just can't see myself spending another 20 hours doing however many more runs to grind out what you need to make more progress, and I feel like giving us a use of this essence would circumvent the need to waste more time playing a game that feels more and more like a void you'd never want to go through. Basically, coming out of early access made me realize that it felt like the game was losing a lot of its content. What pulled me into the world of Voidigo originally was how it presented itself to the player. It had a mysterious and eerie underlying story that you followed through as you progressed through each level, getting closer and closer to the end. The bosses getting more weird and dangerous with the environment actively trying to kill you, always keeping you on your toes. But the big thing was the weapons that you could use. They were absolutely adorable, humorous, and bizarre. A baby brother sword in the hands of a big brother sword who constantly is being bothered by him to the point where he ends up using the sibling as a shield against foes while they scream in pure terror. One of my favorite weapons being the snake sword, where if you haven't been using him in battle for a while, he'll end up turning around and giving you a kiss on the nose, which just felt so wholesome. Given the fact that there are 50 weapons in all and each one behaves uniquely, you can have fun trying each and every one of them, whether they're a normal weapon or they have special effects. The gameplay can be anything you desire. If you do choose calm mode, the gameplay will simply run at a slower speed. This gives every casual gamer the opportunity to have fun, because it won't be a high stakes rush. You can just take your time and explore. And as you make the game's difficulty increase, the speed multiplies, and so the game moves everything quicker and faster while also doing a lot more damage, making it more like a one-shot bullet hell death race to avoid being killed, which can really put a strain on your wrists if you're playing on keyboard and your thumbs on controller, because you will not have a lot of breaks here. It's actually what kept me going and wanting to take on more and more of the tough challenges, even though I was never able to complete brutal mode owing to my own obsessive greed for trading off all of my hearts for loads of gold and outrageous upgrades. It was just so much fun. You wouldn't believe how addicted I was to this game, even though I did play 200 runs and only managed to win 2 or 3 times, once again owing to my strict don't get hit mindset. The full release of Voidigo left a sour taste in my mouth. No progression made would transfer over in terms of the new mastery system, and none of the essence that we carried over could be used to purchase these masteries, which is literally just you going through each level killing everything on calm mode quickly, which is pointless because the bosses are what matter the most. Locking content behind a new form of progression rather than keeping with the original essence system feels like a stab in the back, since I feel like some of us probably stocked up on a lot of them waiting for future content to be released. So if you haven't played Voidigo before release, you'll be having a lot of fun with it because it's new to you. If you're returning from early access, it's a bit hard to swallow, but you'll still be able to enjoy some gameplay out of it if you're looking for a challenge.